matters. Did it make it right for me? No, I'm still sitting here last car on the lead lap after all that, so it's still not right in my book. But what are they going to do, right? It kind of puts in a tough spot. The only option is to go back to the last lap or the loop going into turn 3. If you're going to put the leader back in the spot. I don't know if that's it or not. But I will say they probably need to make the call quicker, right? Because I think once all the, you got to think of all the other stuff that's involved after the race, right? All the gambling and all the stuff that people put money on, and it's all paid out, and then how are you going to get all the money back? I think that goes into the equation. I don't know that, but I would assume that it becomes a pretty complex situation. So they take away anything else that matters. But I think if you made the call sooner, like you do post-race 10, you probably don't have to go through all that.
What happens if something of this nature happens in Phoenix?
Well, I think that's why it's so important for them to handle this in the correct way, so it doesn't happen.
But I mean, we can't wait 72 hours to Phoenix.
Joey, being that Ford does outstanding on this track and won 9 races in a row, but do you have this one as a short list as a potential win for you?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like it's a good one. You said Ford's won the last 9 here, and I'd say we were plenty motivated right now after last week, so I feel like should be in a good spot. Hopefully our car's got some speed and we can make it happen. It's this race, last few times, the way the cautions fall, the strategy's just been so jumbled up. It's really hard to say how things don't play out.
I got knocked out behind the mob there. Did you feel like you were in control of your car on pit road?
Absolutely. Yeah, Jeff. I would never, I'm not going to hit somebody ever on purpose. I don't just go see red and think I'm going to run everybody over. That's the craziest thing ever. But I also think that what I did is not okay, and I understand that they don't know that from the outside. But I also think there's multiple wrongs in this situation. I was waved to go to the front, where the top 10 cars were, without an avenue to get there. So that's one wrong. 2 wrongs, there shouldn't ever have been anyone out there in the first place. So nobody forced that. So to put me in a bad spot, still shouldn't have done what I did. But the scenario is wrong on 3 different levels, in my opinion, and I'm the one paying the penalty. So, but I accept that I did it wrong. They sent me the email to send it to their bank at PNC and shipped it right over there. So now I get to go racing again. So it's frustrating. It really is. But like I said, there's a lot of emotion that gets involved in a scenario like that. I'm not a robot by no means. I'm human. And I said a minute ago, it's comparable to somebody breaking into your house and taking all your stuff, and a minute and a half later you see them all celebrating with your stuff in your front yard. What would you do? Right? You got to ask yourself, how would you handle that scenario? It's the same thing that happened to me in a sport. So, like I said, I would never hit anybody, but I feel like I held myself back pretty well considering the scenario, but still what I did is not right.
Since they send the money to charity, do you at least get the tax write-off?
I don't know if it goes to charity or not. He said NASCAR, so that's where I sent it, right to their bank.
So here's a question. Last week, your situation, I broke down in a column, is obviously more egregious in looking at it. It was deliberate. Even Austin said he was trying to get to you. Coming off of you, is it possible that the hook on Benny was more circumstantial than deliberately going down in 154 feet per second and knowing I'm going to hook this guy, or was he just trying to get down on the track and they came together?
What are you trying to ask me?
Was the hook deliberate? Was the hook deliberate? Do you think Austin
deliberate? Yeah, he turned his hands to the left. Yeah, we can all see that.
You don't think that him trying to save his car from actually after wrecking you?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming and then Denny
Have
coming
you
up.
watched a race before?
I just talked to Denny. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I watched that.
It's pretty
We're
apparent to
talking.
me.
You're moving at 105. NASCAR said you were 105 miles an hour. That's 154 feet per second.
Okay.
Okay. It was 350 feet between your contact and when he hit Denny. I've GPSed it on the map.
Okay.
On the track. So in 350 feet. If Austin is such a horrible driver and no talent, like you said,
Yeah.
how did he take out two of the best in the sport in 350
It's not
feet?
really hard to do that.
I couldn't do it. I can't drive at all. So,
I mean, I think it's not that hard to drive in and clobber one car and then hook another car into the wall after that. I don't know what you're trying to get at.
was it a villainous move, or was he just trying to get down the track? You think he deliberately tried to put Denny Hamlin in the wall?
Seriously, there's data that shows his hands turning left. If he was going to go straight, he would have held his hands straight. Like, if you're going to go left, you turn your hands to the left. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. I know. Like, if you turn left, the car actually turns to the left.
No, wait. If somebody, I'm fine.
Keep going. It's just humorous.
Okay.
Keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Great. If somebody hits you in the front left, you have to put input into your steering wheel in order not to go into the wall with Denny.
How much room did he have to the right side? I don't know, about three car widths?
So I mean,
Could have gone right. But he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, listen, we all know what his intentions were. He said what his intentions were afterwards. So,
Yeah.
you know, trying to put it all into perspective, I don't think there really is a way, right? Like, I mean, it's just, he did it, and he's paying the consequences for it. Unfortunately, I am too. And that will never change for me. The win's taken away, I'll never get it back.
so does he have a pock on his career? You know, as being a dirty driver who hooks guys in the, or was it a racing?
Oh, yeah, he did it in the 500. He did it again.
But you've done similar stuff, not necessarily that egregious, but you've wrecked, and you say you turn into a different human being behind the wheel.
Yeah, but you can't compare. I don't think I can get myself to do that. That was a whole different scenario. And I think if you look at my scenarios, there was an event that happened before that. Right, 24 put me in the wall in Darlington. When I got back to him, I was close to him when I hit him, and we both went around the corner. No, same thing with the 20. 20 put me in the wall in Kansas, and went corner and we made contact. You know, a lot of things are self-policing within reason, right? You can't compare Truex's Martinsville thing. I never wrecked him. We had a chance to move to have a race to start-finish line. Like I said after the race, I expect bump and runs. I've done bump and runs. If I don't have one coming at me, I would never accept what just happened to me. Right? I mean, it's the same thing you teach your kids, right? You teach your kids, someone hits you, what do? You hit them back. That's what I teach my kids. And so, I mean, those are scenarios in the past that I acted on. This was never any history in the past with Austin, at least in my remembrance. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, I said what kind of move it was. I stand behind that.
It's time for one more. Do you want to see NASCAR make the decisions like right away, like after, like
Yeah, they need to.
like on Sunday, like because they said the finish was still under review, right? So, would you like to see those calls be done?
Yeah, they need to, and I understand that. Like, listen, like I know we're all going to say, oh, they do it in late models. Shoot, they do it in quarter midgets, right? They do it in the lowest level, the very beginningest level. But the consequences are higher here, right? Because I mean, there's a lot more on the line, right? The money, the points, all that. The consequences are high, but the act is the same. So, and it's possible to make that call just off an eyeball. But we have way more than eyeballs on this now. We have data. We have all.